Hello everyone. My name is Gabe Love. I'm sharing my senior testimony this year. Um, to be 100% honest, I don't really want to be here and talk about what I have to say. Um, but I feel like God's been calling me to share and open up and get out of my comfort zone. So that is what I'm here to do. Um, as most of you guys don't know, I have closed a chapter of my life and have recently opened a new one. And I'm here to talk a little bit about this chapter of my life that's been closed and a little bit about this new chapter in my life. So, a year ago, I moved out of my parents' house. And while that was a great decision, it brought on a lot of freedom and responsibility into my life. And along with that responsibility, there was a lot of stress on me. I felt like it was all up to me to sort of take care of myself, and I was fully responsible for my well-being, and um, and as I said, that sort of brought a lot of stress into my life. And unfortunately, I chose to combat all that stress with things that were self-destructive. I started messing around with drugs, excessive drinking, um, and smoking cigarettes. And for a while, that's sort of what I needed, and it felt right. And with time, those things started to lead to other things, such as much harder drugs and more drinking. I started getting affiliated with crime, with really bad people, and with those bad things, bad people, sorry, brought bad things. And I found myself with time feeling very unfulfilled, and honestly, like I was living a very dangerous life. Um, and at times that felt like a very powerful thing, like I had full control over my life and my destiny. And at other times, I was fully aware of the low that I'd hit, and and how empty I felt. And I remember having very vivid memories of both those things. And so I remember about a month before this whole COVID thing began, I was feeling very aware of how low my life had gotten, and I was feeling desperate for anything that would sort of get me out of that low. And I just felt very helpless. And I got a text from my sister Karis, and she said that Pete Anderson had stepped up as the youth pastor at JCC. And I immediately felt compelled to show up to that meeting and see what all that was about. And the moment I was there and heard what Pete had to say, I felt even more compelled to meet with Pete in person and sort of come to him about a lot of the stuff I was struggling with at the time. Um, and So I met with Pete, and literally overnight, I brought all these things that I was struggling with to God, um, and and that next day, I decided I was going to leave the drugs behind. I was going to leave the excessive drinking behind. I was going to stop affiliating with the people that I was affiliating with, and and start to focus on God's plan and not my plan. And he'd freed me from a lot of things. And since then, I've been feeling I've been feeling just that. I've been feeling free. I've been feeling as though a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. And so that sort of brings me to this new chapter in my life, where I've left a lot of this stuff behind, and I don't really know what the future holds for me. What I do know, and what I'm here to share with you guys, is that I am trusting in God and His plan for me, and I have to hold tightly onto my faith. And I would also like to share that I don't have a lot of the answers. Um, I'm coming to you guys as a broken man who's asking God to put the pieces back together. And I don't know what he has in store for me, and but I know for a fact it's better than anything that I could have planned for myself. And I have to trust on that daily. And it's a struggle to, it's a daily struggle to stay away from the things, those temptations that I have in my life. But like I said, I'm trusting God that His plan is sufficient and that it will get me to where I need to be. And that is really, if you can remember anything from any of the stuff that I've said today, that would have to be it, is that trusting God and listening to what He has to say is the best thing that you could do. And like I said, I'm a broken man, and I'm making mistakes daily, but I'm trusting in God daily. And I know that will see me through. So I think that's all I have to say. I'd love to connect with people if they'd like to hear a little bit more about what life has been like for me in the last year. Um, but I want to thank those who have tuned in and have heard what I have to say. And I want to thank Pete Anderson, and also God for giving me this opportunity to share what's been on my heart lately. So thank you.